It is Scorpio season. Maybe one of my favorite seasons for different reasons. Welcome back, everybody, to the Spiritual Sisters podcast. It's Nichole.
Hi, it's Gabrielle. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to one of my favorite seasons for sure. Another episode of the podcast, I should say, and Scorpio season is one of my favorite seasons.
Scorpios are kind of intense.
But they're just like softies on the inside. They're just protecting themselves.
Ugh, like a little Cancer. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just because I'm reading some of these and just like I'm in my book and it's like Scorpios are intense and obsessive and dramatic. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, yes, but no, it just seems intense.
But I think it's the inverse. So like Scorpios outwardly stereotyped to be intense, dramatic, internal. But on the inside, they're very like soft and they're just sensitive. Whereas Cancers are stereotyped to be soft, sensitive, ooey gooey on the outside, but really internally, like if you cut us, we're going to eat you.
We will cut you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that especially. But Cancer crabs, so obviously Cancers are represented by the crabs, Scorpios, scorpions. The Cancer female crabs, they eat their young.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when my son was a baby, he smelled one day like McDonald's pancakes and sausage, and I did want to eat him because he smelled so delicious. And I ate a lot of McGriddles when I was pregnant with him, so I think it was just seeping out of his pores. Side note, when I was in Arizona, when we were at Miraval for my birthday, there was a scorpion, a dead scorpion right outside of our door. The cleaning lady found it and she just picked it up and like no big deal. And I was like, aren't those things really scary? But I mean, it was dead. Yeah, she just picked it up and put it somewhere else. That was interesting.
Yeah.
And I think Maria had just said something about Scorpios or scorpions maybe not being common, or her like maybe having not seen one in a while. I might be wrong. There was literally a dead one outside of our door.
I almost wonder if that's like a symbol, because you know how you see animals or insects or just certain things. I wonder what that represented.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. So tell us about the Scorpios.
Well,
Scorpio season.
Scorpio season this year is October 22nd to November 21st. And we're probably not dropping this on the first day just because
We'll drop it sooner probably.
Yeah. And this is, because we have another episode dropping on the 22nd, which is a Tuesday, which is when we drop. So, Scorpios, what do you know, Nichole?
I know my little boy is a Scorpio, and we're obsessed with each other. So I know he's very sensitive. He's very sweet and a little dramatic. I don't know where he gets it from. And that's really all I know. Just very deep, very intense.
I just always think, because your baby daddy, the Leo King, he always says, he didn't choose me. He chose you because Leo and Scorpios. I was like, yeah, Cancer and Scorpio. He definitely chose Nichole.
They're always butting heads on Saturday mornings.
Yeah. Well, okay. So Scorpios, fixed water sign, and they are very much stuck in their ways, just as fixed signs tend to be.
My son's very much about his routine.
Oh, 100%. And he's been that way since he was a baby. Since he was a baby. Yeah. That has not changed.
Maybe
probably
he was
won't.
On the spectrum at one point.
He likes structure. I mean, we do too. So I wonder where he learned it.
It serves us.
It does. So they are represented by the Scorpion, which in turn represents transformation, intensity, and sometimes danger. So that lady picking up the dead Scorpion, I would never have done that, even if it was dead. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And, I was like, do I love Scorpios more than any other water sign? And I was like, no, I like them all. I don't think I have a preference when it comes to water signs because I appreciate the versatility of each of the three.
Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yep,
Just
yep, yep.
making sure I'm remembering.
And Scorpios are ruled, traditionally speaking, they are ruled by the planet Mars. And then today, conventionally speaking, they are ruled by the planet Pluto, which are both they're considered malefics as opposed to benefic planets. So they tend to bring sometimes more intensity and negativity than maybe positivity. And um, Mars is the planet of action and desire. So Scorpios, I should say, are traditionally associated with being highly sexual, which of the 12, I actually wouldn't say it's the Scorpios. I would say it's probably Virgos that are more sexual, but that's the stereotype that Scorpios fall into.
That's
Um, and-
interesting. I feel like out of the Virgos and the Scorpios that I know, I definitely think the Scorpios fall more into the high sexual drive.
no one to Virgos are coming to mind for me. I'm not thinking about any Scorpios that come to mind off the top of my head, but
I have a
for the
few.
Virgos, for the Virgos that I noted, that is very true.
Yeah.
And then Pluto, which is a planet of transformation, power, and rebirth. I would associate that with definitely the emotional aspect of Scorpios, because if you think about it, Scorpios they're built much like the other signs, the other water signs, and they really do have the capacity to hold space in a deep way for not so nice or comfortable topics for that matter.
Hmm.
But before I proceed, let's do my favorite part of these different seasons. I can't wait for this because there's some people on the list that I know Nichole doesn't like. So let's see. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay. Bjork.
I don't know. I'm
She's a
indifferent.
triple Scorpio. Triple Scorpio.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot
right.
of Scorpio. Yeah.
And then because her birth time isn't available because she messes with astrology and not in a good way. But next person is also a triple Scorpio, Katy Perry.
I feel indifferent about her too. I think she's a little overrated.
Mm-hmm. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, he's like grossing me out now.
Right? Because now he's like what? He's like in his 40s, mid 40s.
No, he's like in his 50s.
Is he closer to 50?
Yes.
And he's like aiming for 25-year-olds still?
Yeah, I mean he won't date him like over 25.
Such a thing. Gabrielle Union.
I like her.
Mm-hmm.
I really like her. Leonardo DiCaprio he's like he's like morphing into Jack Nicholson.
Except Jack Nicholson actually got married and had kids and has grandchildren, whereas like Leonardo DiCaprio is showing no signs of that.
My phone's not loading. Okay, well he's like in his 50s. Gabrielle Union, I like her.
Mm-hmm. Ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Oh, gross. Next.
Diddy talk, you guys. I just need to say, there was like a whole week straight where I was going to bed at like midnight, just like scrolling on TikTok, which I never get on, and I'm invested. So, anyways, okay, moving forward.
Gross.
Sierra.
I like her.
Sierra.
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio's 49. He's going to be 50 this year.
Gross. He did not age well.
No. Dad loves
Tracy
him.
Ellis. He does. Dad's a big stand for his work for sure. Tracy Ellis Ross.
I like her.
Yeah, I think she's funny. Winona Ryder.
Oh, she's a little quirky now.
I think
she went through her rough patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Julia Roberts.
Okay, well, she is iconic. She's obviously like an A-lister. I don't know. I don't dislike her. I just, there's like some people that, again, like I feel like are a little overrated. Like I've never understood how she got so big and why. I don't know. I did love Pretty Woman, but that was like her first film. I don't think there were very many other films she did after that I thought were like phenomenal that like rose her to the level that she eventually went to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've never heard anything bad about her. She's very low key, I think.
I agree. Yeah, I'm indifferent, I would say.
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
He's very polarizing.
He's, I think, evil, but yeah, I agree. So yes,
Mhm.
polarizing indeed.
Yeah.
Nicole's favorite, Anne Hathaway.
Oh, God.
Why? Okay, I need to know because I don't know why. Why are you just like not a fan?
I just think she's really fake. Like, I see interviews with her, and she just seems like very, very fake. And I don't like fake people. That's
Okay.
all. Not very genuine.
Ryan Gosling.
Wait, but I did love the Devil Wears Prada. That was really good.
They're making a second one, and they're making a Princess Diaries 3. I will be watching both.
I won't watch Princess Diaries, but I'll watch Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan Gosling. Okay, here's the thing with Ryan Gosling. I never understood the Ryan Gosling obsession. I never understood. No. I never understood it. I was just like, yeah, he's like, whatever. I don't know. I don't get why everybody's like so in love with him. I saw The Notebook like years after it came out because I didn't understand the obsession with The Notebook either. And then I was like, okay, he's like, I get it. But I was like, are people just in love with like this character? Because again, I didn't think he was like super hot. And then I saw Crazy Stupid Love when I was at Brianna's house. And I was like, oh, I get it. I really like him. He's very low key. He and Eva Mendes have been together forever, and they're very low key, very off the radar. And she gets a lot of hate. Like people hate on her so much for being married to him, and I'm just like, why? She's hot. She's hot. Like, why are people hating on her so much? But I love how low key they are. And he was hilarious in Barbie.
Yeah, love it. Okay, all right. Ryan Gosling. How about Ryan Reynolds? Also a Scorpio.
I really like Ryan Reynolds too.
Do you? I think he's really funny.
He's pretty low key too. His wife, I'm not a big fan of hers, but Ryan Reynolds I do like.
Not a fan of Blake the Virgo since recent media or even before?
She just never was, yeah, almost again kind of like too like fake, like tries to put on a certain character and like a certain mask, and I don't buy it fully.
Okay. The singer Frank Ocean.
Oh, we were just talking about him a couple weeks ago. Like, what happened to him?
Oh, well, on Diddy Talk, apparently.
Oh.
Sean P. Diddy Combs blew up Frank Ocean's car because he didn't want to participate in his antics. Oh, shit. Was it Kid Cudi or Frank Ocean's? I thought it was Frank Ocean's.
Maybe. He blew up Kid Cudi's car.
And that's why J. Cole rides a bike everywhere, apparently.
He's like, he's not going to blow up my bike. Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, I think he just kind of like goes and comes back as much as like artists do, you know?
Yeah, I think I heard there was something going on with like maybe his mental health that he had to step away. So like good for him for doing that, if that's true. I haven't really dug very deep because I wasn't like a big fan, but I think he's like pretty talented. Like an underrated kind of talent.
Yeah. Drake.
Oh, Champagne Poppy. I don't know. I don't know lately. Kendrick's been going really hard at him, and I feel kind of bad for him. But I also think like maybe he had it coming, so I don't know.
Also, cannot wait for the Super Bowl to see how Kendrick again calls him out because you know he's going to.
Which he won't. I don't know. Maybe he's worried about. I don't know.
Well, apparently, part of the reasons in which he's been calling him out are also related to his relation with
minors and minors. Yeah. That's why I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know, Drake.
Okay,
stop hanging out with R. Kelly and P. Diddy.
Next person also apparently involved, and I know how you feel about said person, Kris Jenner.
Oh, I love Kris Jenner. I love her. I aspire to be her one day.
I appreciate what has been said about her within our family. And that is that, and these are not my words, that she prostitutes her daughters.
That's what they say. I'm like, but I love her. I think she's a queen. I want to be just like her. And then I get yelled at for that. I love the Kardashians. I don't care what people say. Like, everybody can hate on them. I love them.
I've said this before in previous episodes, but their astrology is wild. Just wild.
I believe it.
Yeah. Okay. So Matthew McConaughey. Daddy
Oh,
Matthew.
love him. Love
Daddy.
him.
Daddy. He, I feel like he's still aging very well, but him and Eminem, I don't know.
I don't know if he is, actually.
You don't think so?
No. I feel like a couple times I've seen him and I'm like, woof. Yeah. But Eminem, totally aging well. It's a hot grandpa.
Yeah. Okay, 2 more. Emma Stone.
I like her. I think she's pretty low key off the radar. I think she's super cute.
Mm-hmm. And then Joaquin Phoenix. I really like his work.
He's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I dig him.
Okay. Did you want to add any? I feel like those were notable enough.
No, I think those were good.
Okay. Additional quick notes before we get into ideal career paths and other partners. So Scorpio in a chart traditionally rules over the 8th house, and the 8th house, as well as Scorpio, is linked to themes of life, death, rebirth, and Scorpio season in general is a powerful time for introspection and to also explore hidden aspects of oneself. And what I really enjoy about Scorpio season is that Scorpios can also claim Halloween, because Halloween, which is, how do you say it, Nichole, with the S? What's the S word for it?
Samhain.
Samhain, Samhain, guys. Aligns with the themes of said, death, rebirth, transformation, but also mystery and the supernatural. And it's when the veil's thin and there is potency for the said spirits on the other side that are no longer in a human body to come through. And it's just a very fitting celebration for this time of year. Some traits that are associated with Scorpios. Scorpios tend to be very passionate. I do think that Scorpios are also quite resourceful. And what I mean by resourceful is, I read for a Scorpio one time and she's like, there's nothing more that a Scorpio hates than being broke. And I was like, actually, yeah. But also Scorpios are very good with money, at least the ones that I know. And I'm just like, oh, that has been something that's been very common that I've observed. And they're also very determined because, again, they're ruled by Mars, which is the planet of strategy. Scorpios can also be secretive and intense, and they might also be keen to dig beneath the surface as well. Do you want to say something before I continue?
2 things. One, the famous Scorpios were right in front of my face. So anyway, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jodie Foster, Drake, Whoopi Goldberg, Tim Cook. I feel like I can picture him in my head, but I'm not sure. RuPaul, it's another notable one, and then Julia Roberts. And I just wanted to say how strong of a connection I think I have to Halloween now, because I had to get induced on Halloween in order to birth my little Scorpio. That's all. Remember how big I was? Remember we went to breakfast that day and I could barely fit behind the booth?
Did you have a feeling he was coming that day?
No, I mean I had to be induced, so it was.
Well, I just remember significantly, you saying you're like, I don't want to have a baby on Halloween. You didn't.
Yeah, I didn't want to have a Halloween baby. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah.
So I'm glad he came the day after.
He sure did. Dia de los Muertos, which is also just as special in our culture. Okay, so kind of already talked a little bit about this, but Scorpios, as the season as well, is known for heightened emotions and intuition. Something I've noticed with Scorpios and Tauruses is that they have a very strong connection to the other side. And because you go down the tunnel of a Taurus, you come out of Scorpio. If you go down the tunnel of a Scorpio, you come out of Taurus. They're linked to mediumship. And I've certainly noticed that mediums tend to have Scorpio in their big 3. Not always, but it's just a pattern that I've noticed within my readings. So yeah. But overall, Scorpio season encourages us to have deeper connections and intimacy in our relationships. And yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
Okay. So what would be good jobs?
Investigators. Mediums.
Okay.
Because the eighth house involves other people's money, like some type of accountant or tax keeper, because it's also taxes.
Okay.
A mortuary manager, cemetery manager, anything associated with death, I would say. What else?
You're pretty
What
spot on.
jobs? Okay, all right. What does it say? Those are my top hits.
Okay. The Scorpio is a deep and complex sign that will work best in environments where their almost obsessive tendencies allow them to dive deeply into their work. As they are very private people, they work well alone and won't be drawn into small talk and chatting at the water cooler. Careers that will suit a Scorpio are psychotherapist, surgeon, detective, researcher, engineer, forensic scientist, financial advisor, market analyst, bill collector, investigator, politician, political analyst, mortician, medical examiner, fertility specialist, sex therapist, because they're horny all the time, chemist, shamanic healer, boudoir photographer, of course they would, or undertaker.
So
I feel like it's
interesting.
very fitting from
Very
what you've
spot on.
explained about them. Yeah.
I forgot to add. That's true. Scorpios and Aries, because they're ruled by Mars, they make great surgeons because Mars rules over knives and pointy objects and scissors and things that you make incisions with.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Scorpio boss is intense and can be intimidating as they have a penetrative presence and can see the motivations of others, and they will use that ability to their advantage. The Scorpio boss will not immediately trust their employees, but once they do, they reward deserving and talented people. Their lack of trust can create issues with delegating tasks, which can reduce productivity on the team. The Scorpio employee keeps to themselves, is very poised, and oozes inner confidence. They are the most resourceful, single minded, and self motivated workers, but they are likely to be quite intimidating to both employers and employees. They are best allocated to a deep and intensive project that will allow them to stay in their zone and work alone. Like almost like little hermits, like a little Cancer.
Yeah. And you know what I was thinking at my previous job? Shout out to the Scorpio if he's going to listen to this. Natural strategist. So good with like managing money, other people's money, because he was responsible for his own budget. And you met him at a party once. Yeah, they're just everything you just said. I'm like, yeah, that applies to Scorpio for sure.
The Scorpio coworker has a strong presence and insight into the psyche of their coworkers. Their natural listening abilities mean that others will share their deepest issues with the Scorpio, but will learn little about them in return. Totally good therapist. Because they are so diligent, they make decent coworkers if you don't expect anything light and fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I fuck with Scorpios.
They
don't scare me.
So. No, I don't think they're scary.
I don't think they're scary at all.
Yeah, I think they're great.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be good romantic combinations?
Probably Aries. That might be a little intense. Cancers, of course. I know that there's others, but those are the only two I can think of right now. So, yeah.
Okay. Scorpio in love is intense and almost obsessive as they throw everything they have into relationships and are devoted and loyal and desire deep intimacy. They do need their alone time despite the need for such intimacy, and their feelings run so deep that they find it difficult to share them. Yeah, that would work really well with the Cancer. Like, hey, I need my alone time. Great. I need my alone time too. Okay. Scorpio and Scorpio are an unbelievably powerful, intense, and dramatic combination that can bring out the best or worst in each other, or both at different times. If the two merge well, then they will last for their lifetimes. Scorpio and Sagittarius are diametrically different and will have to work to make what can be a powerful initial attraction succeed, with Scorpio lessening their private and serious side, and Sagittarius developing some of the same. I hope he doesn't bring home a Sag. Okay.
Well, ask Brianna the Sag, and she said she just stayed away from Scorpios. It's the least favorite sign that she's dated.
Okay, good. Scorpio and Capricorn are a well-matched pairing, as both are hard workers and reserved and value security. They bring complementary strengths to the relationship. Yeah, he can bring home a Capricorn. Scorpio and Aquarius are not always destined for long-term connections or harmonious ones without a lot of compromise, despite a strong attraction. The intensity of Scorpio and the detachment of Aquarius can cause conflict, but with work to resolve differences, it can work. Yeah, not an Aquarius either. Okay. Scorpio and Pisces are a loyal and emotionally bonded partnership, even though Pisces doesn't always love Scorpio's tendency to be more confrontational. Both are spiritually and romantically inclined and will give to the other willingly. He can bring home a Pisces. I think that's fine. Scorpio and Aries both like to be in control, but there is a lot of passion between the two. Both are likely to enjoy the intensity, and with a little communication, it can work. I don't want him to bring home an Aries.
Why?
I don't really like dig Aries very much. So, like the fire signs, right? I don't like the fire signs.
Brianna, we like you. We love you.
Huh?
We love you, Brianna.
Yeah, but if Brianna wasn't our sister, will we love her? It's like, those fire signs are rough. Like we don't, right? Like water puts out fire. Like we don't work well together, you know?
Brianna, you keep us humble. We'll say that.
Scorpio and Taurus are in many ways perfect for each other, as Taurus's more relaxed style will complement Scorpio's intensity, and both have similar values. He can bring home a Taurus.
Yeah.
Scorpio and Gemini are an interesting mix of energies, with Scorpio being deep and Gemini liking to keep things light. Each can intrigue the other enough to keep exploring how to work together, so they often do find a way to do so. I think that works. I like Gemini, so I think that'd be like a good balance for him.
Just think of how interesting that dynamic would be, though. A Scorpio and a Gemini, like the levity and the intensity. I'm like, oh my God.
But I think the intensity needs the levity. It's like very necessary.
Shout out to Elisa, who was on our Psych K episode. She has Gemini and Scorpio in her big three, and I'm like, you balance that so well.
Scorpio and Cancer are both deeply emotional, sensitive, and also possessive, which actually works here, as both can feel secure in this pairing. Oh, okay. Scorpio and Leo make a very passionate and dramatic relationship, but will find it hard to communicate without clashing. However, both will often enjoy this high-intensity match, and that will keep them interested. That just sounds toxic. And he cannot bring home a Leo. Okay, Scorpio and Virgo are a complementary match and work well together. Both enjoy alone time and can quite easily build mutual trust. That works.
Yeah.
And finally, Scorpio and Libra speak and live at cross purposes, but have an attraction to each other in spite of that. Scorpio's privacy and intensity will confuse the lighthearted Libra, and the sociability of Libra will bring out Scorpio's possessiveness, but communication and compromise can help. I think Libra's fine.
They say, there's a saying, Scorpio loves Libra. And again, I just think of Pete Davidson and Kim K. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anything else?
I love Scorpios. I fuck with Scorpios. Just
I love
here
him.
for it.
I love
they don't scare
my
me.
little Scorpio. No. But he's a little mean sometimes. He's a little intense for being so little.
They can be mean. That's true. I mean, they're ruled by Mars and Pluto.
Yeah. I was driving the other day and it was hot. My hair was like on the back of my neck, and I picked it up and I had it over the neck rest, and he was in such a pissy mood. And I'm driving him to school and he's like, that's annoying. And I was like, what's annoying? And he's like, your hair is annoying me. And I was like, well, you know what? Your behavior is annoying me. He was just being so mean.
Oh my God.
And then later that day, he said something about like, oh, I'm sorry I was being mean. I was like, yeah, like It wasn't very nice. Like, you were saying my hair was, like, annoying you, and he's like, well, it kinda did.
I mean, at least he was honest. And also,
Like, what? Like,
we haven't
that's
even,
so dumb.
Nichole, we haven't even hit puberty. Just wait. Wait.
I can wait. Happy birthday, Scorpios.
We love you.
It's your season.
Yeah. Until next time.
Bye.